I made the most gains when I realized that I was doing too much. Most guys believe that doing more in the gym is always better. More sets, more reps, more time. But that is not always true. Sets and reps are only one part of the equation for building muscle and strength. If your reps are too high but the weight is too low, you're just doing fluff and pump. And if you're doing too many sets, you're just exhausting your body and pushing yourself away from the actual process where muscle builds. I believe the reason that so many programs call for 3 sets is because most people don't know how to push hard. So the program creator hopes that the volume makes up for the lack of intensity. But what actually happens, and I know this because I've trained people like this and I've also done it myself, is this. You see 3 sets of 12. That first set is taken pretty easy. You hit 12 reps, but by the 12th rep, you could have done like 20 more. Your intensity is not there. You're not actually pushing yourself. Either you haven't learned that this is what it takes to grow, you're lazy, or you're just scared to push too hard. This matters especially if you're a natural lifter. If you are training hard, actually pushing close to failure, you need time to recover. Muscle doesn't just grow in the gym. It grows when you recover from the stimulus you created. As a natural, you don't have enhanced recovery. You don't get to train hard every single day and expect to grow. If you're constantly sore, constantly fatigued, and adding more volume, you're not doing more. You're just digging a deeper hole. Once you realize that you can build muscle in less time and fewer days per week, it completely changes your view of training. You stop feeling like a slave to a 5-day program you don't even need to grow muscle. To be clear, I'm not saying that beginners should jump straight into this. I'd still start most people with 3 days a week, full body, but once you've built a solid base of muscle and strength, you can absolutely grow on even fewer days if your training is optimized. For most people, a program looks like this: 3 days a week, full body, especially if you're natural and actually training hard. Each workout starts with 1 compound lift for that day, a squat, a deadlift, overhead press. That compound lift is the priority. After that, you follow up with an additional 3 to 4 lifts that support that main movement, not just random jump. Movements that actually complement the compound lift. Things like weighted pull-ups, Romanian deadlifts, shoulder press, dips, barbell curls, stuff that makes sense for that day. Then if you want, you can add an additional set for something that you want to focus on, like your arms, your calves, or your abs. Because the volume is lower, you have to push hard on these days. You're not doing endless sets, you're not bouncing around the gym, you've got a limited number of lifts and a limited number of working sets. So when it's time to go, you actually go. That first compound lift, you go hard on it. The follow-up lifts, you take them close to failure. When you train like this, there's nowhere to hide. You can't just hit a rep number and move on. You have to make the set count. As a natural lifter, that's exactly why this works. I reduced my own training volume and increased intensity, and my gains skyrocketed. I was training 5 to 6 days a week, not pushing close to failure, focusing more on hitting rep numbers than actually promoting muscle growth. I even wanted to at one point train 7 days a week, and that's not a good sign. If you are pushing hard, your body will need rest. If you can train 7 days a week, something is off. Either you are truly overtraining or you're not doing enough when you're there. Another benefit is that you don't have to stop being active. If you were lifting 5 to 6 days a week and stalling, then drop down to 2 to 3 days. You can replace those extra days with active recovery or things you actually enjoy. Sports, martial arts, boxing, running, sprinting, whatever you want to do. As much as I love lifting, I know that I can use my time more wisely. Less time in the gym means more time playing guitar, reading, and doing other things that I enjoy. Once you realize that you don't need to be in the gym every single day, you'll go less and make even more gains. If you recover well on 4 to 5 days a week while pushing hard, that's great. But most people could get the same results with less. A lot of natural lifters would benefit from reducing sets, reducing volume, and reducing gym days, and increasing intensity. Even if you eventually go back to training more days, you'll be a much better lifter because you finally understand what it means to train hard and recover properly. You don't need to train twice a day, 5 to 6 days a week to build muscle. You can build muscle training as little as 2 to 3 days a week and still have a life. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, and if you're looking for a program to get you started, check out this video here.